If you ask me for the perfect description of a small but mighty laptop, then I would conveniently point you in the direction of this laptop, the ASUS Zenbook 13. Let's check it out. Hey, what's up guys, Fisayo here, and we are getting through everything there is to know about the ASUS Zenbook 13. The specs and features that it packs are solid enough to stand the test of time for a couple of years actually. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I'd love it if you could hit that like button so more people can benefit from the knowledge that we'll be sharing here and the analysis of this laptop and all of the great things that this laptop can do. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's get started by discussing the first thing that catches your attention when you see the laptop, and that is the design. Like just look at this laptop. The design of this laptop does not fall short by any standard at all, and it's definitely worth a second look. This is definitely one of the smallest laptops I've ever seen and used, and it's just around half an inch, 0.55 inches thin to be exact, and it weighs 1.14 kilograms. This is what you will call sort of a featherweight laptop, and I can even hold it with 2 fingers. With its small size and lightweight, ASUS still hooks us up with a solid build that feels very premium. The lid of the laptop comes off with a pretty interesting design setup. The aluminum chassis comes with a brushed metal design that displays a very nice effect when light bounces off of it in this cool looking radial pattern. It's definitely not the most crazy design you will find, but it pulls off the minimalist vibe very well. ASUS says they've tested this computer in stressful conditions and it meets what they call military grade standard. They tested altitude, they tested temperature, they tested vibration, and even drop tests. I can't drop my laptop because I'm actually too careful. Over time, ASUS has done a very decent job improving the ergonomics on the keyboard of their laptops. With the small size of this laptop, the keyboard interface goes edge to edge, and it offers a very comfortable and enjoyable typing experience overall. And I'm not just saying this, I specifically used the ASUS Zenbook to type and make edits to this script, the script of this video that you're currently watching, and even after typing for over an hour, I never got tired of using this keyboard. For a laptop of this level and size, with the size of the keyboard, it met my expectations with regards to responsiveness and comfort. Oh, and of course it's backlit, which is something I think every laptop should have at this point. As a side note, one thing that adds a bonus point to the typing experience is that the ASUS Zenbook 13 has a slight tilt lift when you open it. It's so subtle, and the elevation adds to the overall typing experience and makes it a little bit better just for resting your hand and typing. One thing that gets my honest appreciation on this laptop is the touchpad. I've used quite a lot of laptops in my lifetime, but on this Windows powered Zenbook 13, I felt the trackpad. I was genuinely impressed by the seamlessness, the seamless movements, and you can call it love at first touch. I also like that the design maximizes the use of the space that the trackpad has to offer, and it's enough real estate when you're scrolling and doing other stuff with this trackpad. It's around 5 inches wide, and like with almost all the other features on this laptop, the trackpad also comes with its own bonus, sort of the icing on the cake for this laptop. On the top right corner of the trackpad, you will find an inscription with the image of what looks like a calculator, but it actually is a number pad icon. Touching and holding that image for just over a second activates an LED panel that displays a number pad that you can use to easily input numbers and signs into whatever application you are using. And the other toggle to the left is to control the brightness of this said number pad. What I really like about this feature is that it allows you to still use the trackpad as usual, even when the numbers are up. You can use it with scrolling, selecting, and doing your normal everyday trackpad stuff. Another thing I really liked is the shortcut that could open the calculator. That ease of access is also an amazing use case. To access it, you will need to touch the light corner or the top left corner of the trackpad and drag it down. Just touch and drag down, and then this pulls up the calculator. You can get to work with it and do your quick calculating tasks with trackpad and just an interface with one swipe, which is quite functional. Either way, it's fun, it's functional, it's a cool feature to have on your laptop. I found it useful when I was editing the script of this video as well. Now let us take a tour over to the sides of the laptop and see the ports and I/O that ASUS Zenbook 13 has to offer. On this device, from the left side, you get an HDMI 2.0 port. 2 Thunderbolt 4 USB Type-C ports, and you can plug in your charger to any one of these Type-C ports to get your battery juices up. And speaking of battery juices, you also get the battery indicator on the same side. On the right side, you get a Type A USB 3.2 port, a micro SD card slot, and your power indicator to show that your device is turned on. And lastly, on the back is where we get the vents. That's actually pretty much everything with the laptop's, ports. With all of these things that the laptop has to offer, people who love 3.5mm headphone jacks would have to give it up, because that doesn't exist here. We don't get a standard 3.5mm headphone jack out of this design. So what this means is that if you want to use an external audio device, they have to either connect wirelessly or they must be Type-C compatible. However, ASUS didn't leave us hanging. They provided a USB-C to 3.5mm headphone jack adapter or dongle, so you can just plug it and do your wired headphone stuff. I know we are here to get to the performance of the ASUS Zenbook 13, and this is not exactly your typical workstation laptop. So for one, I probably would have taken a headphone jack over the micro SD card slot, since it's supposed to be more of your everyday carry, your friendly laptop that you can just carry around and move with you everywhere. The built-in speakers on the ASUS Zenbook 13 are downward firing speakers. They kind of spread out in a spiral like this. But despite this configuration, you would definitely enjoy the audio that comes out of this laptop, especially when you place it on a hard surface like a table that can bounce the audio back up. Of course, that's what you can expect with something like a Harman Kardon speaker. For a small laptop, the speakers get surprisingly loud, and it's not just loud, but the audio comes out very crisp as well and clear. On the days when you forget the external speaker, you should still be able to consume content with a group of people and still get very clean audio out of the ASUS Zenbook 13. One thing I really appreciate about the Zenbook 13 is its display. Like with all other categories on this laptop, ASUS really made sure that this was as impressive as possible. On the display, it doesn't fall short. The Zenbook 13 comes with a 1920 by 1080p pixel OLED display panel. If you have ever consumed content on an OLED screen, we have one right here, then you know what to expect from an OLED screen of this magnitude. It's small, but it's still big. The OLED display on this small laptop is a 1080p resolution one, and it makes the most of the features that it's got on here. Right from the startup, you're already enjoying the OLED experience on this laptop, and the quality of this display knocks many IPS displays of its competitors out of the game. The display of the ASUS Zenbook 13 has an improved contrast ratio, clocking, wait for it, 1,000,000:1. This display on this laptop does significantly more than some other laptops in this price range. Like the Dell XPS 13 that offers only 100,000:1, making this 10 times better factually. Of course, with more contrast comes deeper blacks and richer colors. According to this, the display of the Zenbook 13 will display the entire DC-IP3 color gamut. That is 100% DC-IP3 and has a VESA Display HDR True Black certification. So for professionals in the color correction and digital art field that need their colors to always be pinpoint accurate, the display of this laptop will not fail. I could get a sense of contrast quality from my ISO monitor test. I also like that you get eye care, where 70% of the blue light is reduced, and also you get a smooth blur-free animation throughout your scrolling and entire usage on here. Are there drawbacks? Well, that depends on what your preferences are, sort of. First off, if you're a sucker for a 4K screen, then this screen has been capped at 1080p, which might be a little bit of a concern. However, with the OLED panel, you almost will not be able to tell the difference, like seriously. Also, for those that like to interact directly with their laptop screens, you do not get a touchscreen. ASUS Zenbook 13, there's no touchscreen features. It's normal. It's a normal screen. Apart from these two minor things, this display is totally very enjoyable to use. This laptop is very enjoyable to use. Now, moving on to the performance side of things, the ASUS Zenbook 13 boasts of some pretty interesting numbers on here as well. The laptop comes equipped with the 11th gen Intel Core i7 processor. In its small body, it can take up to 32 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of PCIe 3.0 NVMe SSD. The review unit that I was sent here, however, came with 8 gigs of RAM and 512 gigabytes of SSD. Without a doubt, the maxed out version of this laptop would breeze through most computer applications without breaking a sweat. And ASUS also offers a variety of terms of the configuration that you can get on the Zenbook 13. Depending on how much of a power user that you are, you can also get ones that come with the Core i5 zones. For most notebooks, laptops like with the book name, extreme performance might be intense, but they're usually best for word processing and less power intensive activities. But with the Zenbook 13, I have to say that I've been impressed by what this laptop is capable of handling for its level and its size. After running this review unit through Geekbench, the Zenbook 13 scored 13,718. This is a way higher score than what you would normally find on laptops, again in this price range. If you're looking for a performance beast, ASUS definitely has other offerings like the one I reviewed, the ASUS Zenbook Pro Duo. You can watch that with the card up above or one of the links in the description. However, I have to say that ASUS did a very good job, an excellent job actually, putting as much as they could into the small form factor of this Zenbook 13. You also get cool features like Wi-Fi 6 for faster capabilities, and of course face login with the infrared camera on here. You can log in with your face being scanned. Because of just how small this laptop is, I cannot help but be impressed by how well it pulls off most of its key features, and battery life is one of those key features that it does pull off well. Most notebooks again don't really impress when it comes to how long they last on battery life, but the Zenbook 13 does stand out in the battery department as well. ASUS claims that the Zenbook 13 is capable of 13 hours of usage on the battery life alone. Is that why they call it Zenbook 13? Is that why they call it Zenbook 13? And to top it off, the laptop can actually fast charge from 2% to 60% in 49 minutes. Usually when the brand puts numbers like this on their devices, the reality is usually not the same as what you ordered. What you ordered is not the same as what you got. Anyway, the Zenbook 13 does meet up to expectation. I used the laptop for long hours without charging, and while there was a lot of standby time, the laptop was running from about 12 noon till early the next day. And as for charging, it took about an hour to go from dead, like 0% to 62%. And this is the kind of laptop you can comfortably take to meetings and do presentations if you don't want to carry heavy hardware and still, not worry about the battery life dying, while of course pitching your $1 million idea. All right, let's conclude with the pricing of this laptop. From what I've seen so far, the least price you can get this for is around 500,000 naira or around $1,000 for this. To be fair, there are phones that cost this much or even more that can't do what this can do. I see this as a very productivity driven computer, and something I'd recommend to like students, because of my experience. Typing on this is very smooth and easy. It's portable to carry around. It just works. And if you're doing more graphic intensive stuff, of course there are more suitable options, but this pulls its weight and I've had a positive experience with it so far. That's pretty much it for my thoughts on the ASUS Zenbook 13. Thanks to ASUS for giving us this review unit. And again, these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts after 2 weeks of me using this laptop. Do let me know if you have any questions or concerns or comments in the comment section below. I'll be sure to be there chatting with you guys and responding to your questions. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the very next video.